Hi, I'm Steve from Mac84, and I forgot how to live stream. How's everyone doing? Let's see who we have in the chat. Dave, Francois, we have Kranos, Falcor is here. Falcor is here. Sorry, jeez. Sam is here. We have Reed. We have Lord of Nothing, Retrotech Tom, Tev Rudin's here, Rodville, Lord of Nothing, SadMac356, Point 5, Shoalfox, and that's all who are showing up at this moment in time. How's everyone doing? We have JC Russell as well. Hello, hello. It's been like half a month. How's everyone doing? Oh, well, happy birthday. My goodness. All right. So, we got a lot going on today. My goodness. Hi, Mike. He's been a member for 18 months. I bet you forgot to unsubscribe. Love you, Mike. Hey, K-Mac, how's it going? Desert Coliseum is here. Mr. Shenanigans himself, Action Retro, is here. Oh, boy. Gutbomb is here. All of these fine folks, Gutbomb, Sean, Mike, everybody in this chat is awesome. So, thank you very much for tuning in. We have some jank to look at today. I knew you forgot, Mike. I was aboard yesterday. Oh, gosh. All right, so what the heck are we doing today? What is this Color SE30 I was rambling on about in the thumbnail, I guess? So, what the heck are we talking about here? Well, in the video description, there's a video that I did in March of 2022. It's been a while. And in that video, I talked about something that I wanted to do very, very badly. I wanted to create my own Macintosh SE30. I have two Macintosh SE30s that are sitting right there, and they don't do much because one had a battery bomb in it, and the other one has an analog board problem. And so it's just been one of those things where I never got around to it. Sorry, shaky camera. And the color was beige. The color was black, or you could turn the black color off, and that was it. So a while back, I was doing repairs, like maybe 3 years ago at this point, and someone gave me a card in trade for doing repairs. They didn't want to pay me at the time, or money was tight, or they just thought a trade would be a good idea. And they traded me this. This is a Pro Color Server 816.2 by Lapis Technologies Incorporated. This is a date of 1991 on this. This thing is really freaking cool. This is a PDS card for the Macintosh SE30. So if you look here, I have a Macintosh, oopsie doodle, I have a Macintosh SE30 on the bench here. So what this does is it plugs right in here to our SE30 motherboard, and you have a 15-pin video connector here, and you get color accelerated video out from a Macintosh SE30. Which is pretty cool if you wanted a secondary display. Now, the problem is, I don't have really the setup for a secondary display, and I don't want a secondary display. I got this board with a questionable analog board, and the CRT had burn-in in it. So what am I to do? Well, if you saw that video I did in 2022, you have sort of an idea. My plan was to use a clear SE30 case from Mac Effects and build my own custom SE30 with a little LCD screen. And I made some progress since then, very slowly, but slowly and surely I've made some progress. So here is the front with the 8.4 inch, it's going to have trouble focusing, but it's an 8.4 inch color LCD that is native at 640 by 480. And you can see there's a bunch of junk in the back to make this work. But this is a VGA driven monitor, which we could plug into that, that card. The only hot glue is on this speaker because I did not want to melt the plastic, so I hot glued it. So this is this. And this has been something that I had in kind of a working state at VCF East 2022, I think. It was very thrown together. The LCD was barely hanging on, and the logic board was outside of the case because I had a lot of pieces that were missing. Big thanks, by the way, to Kate, Macintosh librarian, who helped me with this bezel. They have excellent experience with 3D printing, and they are a treasure. Please subscribe to Macintosh librarian. She's awesome. And without her help, I would not have had this LCD panel mounted in this display as nice as I could have. So thank you so much for your assistance on that. Greatly appreciated. So now I have that. Now what I need to do is put it all together, but there's some caveats here because I don't want to just have a color SE30. I want to do stupid stuff to it too. So I was rummaging around in my bins of boxes and cables and junk because, you know, I buy stuff off eBay and then a few years go by and I forget I had it. And I came across a networking card. Let me plug the cable back in because, of course, it's unplugged. But this is a networking card. It's an Asante MacCon card for the Macintosh SE30, and it gives you Ethernet. So this plugs into the PDS slot, this plugs into the back of your Mac, and you get Ethernet. However, there's only one PDS slot on this computer, and you can see it's being used up by that color card. But this has a pass-through on it. So technically, I could remove this color card very carefully. I could insert this networking card, and I could say plug in another card to it. Now this card was designed for the Macintosh SE30, but it was also designed for the Macintosh 2SI. So the 2SI had a horizontal slot, so you could put another PDS card like a Radius color card or something like that in there. This was not really designed for the SE30, at least this slot. And the reason being is because the floppy drive goes here. You can't have this in normal SE30 with the floppy drive and the analog board and the CRT. There's just so much stuff that's being taken up there. But I don't have an analog board and I don't have a CRT because I'm powering this off of a power supply that is much smaller than an analog board. I wired this up with an ATX adapter, as you might have seen in that earlier video. And this plugs directly into the main board here. Supplies the voltage it needs as soon as I plug it in. No analog board needed. We're not driving any analog circuitry. See, there's a lot of stuff in the chat. I'll be done with my little spiel here in a bit, and then we'll get on with answering some questions. But so the problem is that it would be cool, even though I have a Blue SCSI with Wi-Fi right here, which we'll be putting in here. It would be cool to use the darn Ethernet card that I bought for the machine. But how am I going to make this work? I can't have something going this way. I would want a floppy drive. Do you know that they still make PDS connectors? These were bought off Mouser just a few days ago. And this is a right angle 120 pin connector that is identical to the PDS cards. And so I have a second network card here just in case I screw up. And so what I'm going to do is remove this slot and put this in its place. So this points up, and now I can have both of the cards installed. Which it does work with both cards installed, but now I have the actual room to do it in the configuration that I'd like. So that's one thing that we're going to do today. We're going to put this in here, and then we're going to put this card on top of it and all that fun stuff. But remember when I said I don't have a complete SE30 or anything like that? Well, I didn't. I had parts. This part came from the free pile at VCF East, and it was rusted, I tell you. Rusted. This is part of the metal chassis that goes in there. Let me show you a picture of how rusted it was. I posted on social media a few days ago, and people were like, "What the heck is that? What happened to it?" It was rusted. That's how rusted it was. That's just the top of it. It was pretty darn bad. Might as well use both Ethernet cards in there. And so I donned the proper safety equipment, and I scuffed the hell out of that to get it looking pretty good. I then, thanks to Joe of Joe's Computer Museum and Ron of Ron's Computer Videos, they gave me some pointers on making sure that I could get all the yuckiness off of this, and make sure we could make it a little rust-proof for the future. So I got some spray paint and put some Rust-Oleum on here, and it's not final. There's a little parts I need to touch up, but it looks pretty darn good for its original condition. So, hey Ian, how's it going? Just talking about this little crazy thing I'm building. So now I have this SE30 chassis that's in good shape. I have my SE30 with the networking card, with the color video card. And so the goal is to put this all together and make a color SE30 that's all original hardware and run it in that MacFX case, button it up, and make it look all pretty. The last thing that I need to do is related to the floppy drive. You'll notice that I don't have a floppy drive holder on here. Well, I 3D printed one. And this will go right here, hopefully. And it's clear, so it looks kind of cool. And you may be thinking, well, Steve, don't you just have like one of these parts lying around? Well, I did, but it wouldn't work for what I wanted to use it for, because I don't want to use it just a normal floppy drive. I would love to use a zip drive or a magneto-optical drive, but the slot in the SE30, especially the MacFX case, I'm not going to Dremel it or anything. It would look terrible. But I want to put something cool in here. I want to make it unique. I forgot I had this in the basement until I was walking around the other night. It's a super disk drive. And not only is it a super disk drive, it's a SCSI super disk drive. It basically has a freaking huge board on the bottom that just converts SCSI to the IDE to SCSI. And this works. It's one of the few super drives I have that actually works. Plugged into my Power Mac over there, it worked beautiful. I don't know if it'll work under System 7, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So that's why I had to build this little thing, because this would not fit in the adapter because it sticks out way too far. Now, if I do that, it fits pretty well. I had to line up the screws a little bit better, but that's all right. Just a 3D print, I could Dremel right through it if I had to. So now you sort of get the whole picture of what the heck I'm building here. And how insane this stupid project has been. It's been going on for quite a while. And I don't like to settle for something. I like to, be sort of a perfectionist and do it the way I want to. So, although I don't have a CPU upgrade like some folks are doing, Sean, which is fine, by the way, and awesome, and I wish I could afford one of those, but I bought other crap to shove in there as well, and maybe eventually we'll put a CPU upgrade in here, although I have a socketed CPU, so that would be a bit of a pain to do. So, what I would like to do is boot this sucker up, confirm that the networking card works, because I have two and I forgot which one I tested, and then we're going to desolder this connector off, hopefully successfully, put one of these on, and start assembling this thing, and hopefully we assemble it in time for VCF Midwest. And because you cannot forget your batteries, as long as you do it properly, I'm going to put in my little V2 battery holder guy from Ron's Computer Videos, available at jcm-1.com. It's not focusing, but it should. So that's what we have in store for today. Hopefully, maybe, I don't know how far I'll get. Top-loading CD-ROM like a G4 Cube. Yeah, just like get a Dremel or a buzzsaw, just make a huge slot. Oh my goodness. All right, let me catch up with the chat. Sorry. SE30 router. Oh goodness. Long way to go getting fixed up. Yep. Yeah, no CPU upgrade yet. Yes, you did Dremel your case, but I think you did a good job of that. I'm not that. My hands aren't that steady. So, hey, Thomas. Yeah, I've been waiting for a long time. Time has not been on my side. All right, so what we're going to do is power this thing up, and I'll show you exactly how that works. So I got my external power supply here. Gonna make some room on the desk. Alright, let's get that over there. Get this over here. Now, as soon as I apply power to this, it's gonna start up. And I have a blue SCSI with the right software on here. Whoops. It's me breaking all the memory clips on this stupid thing. I have to 3D print more of those dealies. I know I did somewhere, but I don't know where I put them. Alright, we're going to plug in Ethernet here. And if this works, that light should come on as soon as we hit power, because it wasn't before. Alright, here's power cable. Dremel amongst friends. And let's turn this on. Yep, I saw a blink. All right, let me turn that off for 1 second. What I would like to do is put this video card in horizontally just so we could get a confirmation of the picture on this LCD screen. Now, the refresh rate of this is a little, let's say, peculiar. My scaler likes it, but it blinks, and then this LCD does like it without any problem. So I think it's just one of those sync signal things. And I also don't want to have to use a big VGA adapter, so I bought one of these little tiny header thingamajigs that I might be able to just use instead of a whole bulky cable, but we'll see if we can get to that. The big thing I want to do today is the PDS slot transfer, and everything else will just be gravy if we can get it done. So. Perfect for your corporate needs. Yeah, not new clips, but they're these little holders that go over it to sort of hold it in. So, I mean, you could just hot glue it, but I printed a few of them for my ROM sim here, which is great. All right, so let's turn this on. Wait for that to make a noise. Oh, it'd be great if I had a keyboard plugged in. Let me turn this off because I have to undo this cable. It's going to be SE30 Data Center Edition. But my good pal Ron, who runs computer videos, I believe is going to set up some fun at VCF Midwest. I'm not going to give it away. I'm just going to say it's going to be a lot of fun. There'll be networking opportunities for all. Let's turn this sucker back on. And I'm going to point the screen this way, kind of, sort of. You could sort of see the LCD. It says Lapis on it. Can't see it from that angle, but that's what it says. It is foreboding, Ian, and I hope I do a better job than I did on your Macintosh 2's memory slots, which I still have here and I still will get to. One of the projects I've been personally working on for almost 2 years is being delivered tomorrow, and that is my shed. And that means over the course of a few months, I'll be able to walk in this basement again without tripping over something and hurting myself. So I'm very excited. But there we go. Welcome to Macintosh. It is colorful. Move the monitor here a little bit. Sorry, it's not perfect, but I don't have the screen capture set up right now. But go to About This Mac, and you'll see it is indeed Macintosh SE30 running System 7.1. We have 69 megabytes in memory. Yes, we'll do a prisoner exchange soon, my friend. All right, and then if we go to control panels, we should be able to set Apple Talk to Ethernet. Go to the network control panel. Go to EtherTalk. Yes. Oh, Ian has every right to do that. Don't worry. We're both holding sad computers hostage from each other. That's what good friends do. Alright, and if we go to the chooser and if we click on Apple Share, we should see my Mac Mini. And we do. Mac Mini G4 Tiger. So we know this networking card works. A+. Yay. Now, you know what's funny? Here's a message you would never normally see on a Macintosh SE30. Because we took the analog board out, it doesn't know how to shut... Oh, no, wait. Never mind. I'm sorry. I'm talking about... I was misremembering because I was playing around with the Color Classic and stuff. That would turn itself off. But yeah, it's just weird seeing it on LCD. Okay, so I'm going to turn that off. Unplug our keyboard. put this to the side and use up the remainder of our flux. What is that, a spider? To get off all this stuff and try and remove this PDS slot. I have some backup flux, but not a lot. Let's move the camera back so you can see what the heck I'm yammering on about. Sorry, it's been a while, folks. I don't know what I'm doing anymore, clearly. Yes. Yes, like sun memory. Oh, Ian. I'm glad to have you as a friend. We need more crazy people like us in the world. Oh, boy. All right. So, unplug some things here. Don't want to get too crazy. Put this color card over here. I'm going to take the SE30 board off of the desk because we're not going to work on it at this moment in time. We're just going to focus on the Ethernet card. Take the power supply, put that here. And have I ever done this before? Absolutely not. Is there going to be a video about how you mounted the LCD to the case? Well, I'm going to do a video about this, of course. But it wasn't that difficult. As long as you have a proper model of the shroud, which there's a few online. There weren't anyone's perfect, so I had to modify mine. And Kate from the Macintosh librarian helped greatly. But it's all around the size of the LCD. If you have an LCD that's properly sized, it shouldn't be that bad of a fit. But, yeah. Hey, Dan, how's it going? Faster than a speeding back 2, more powerful than LC, able to leave tall monitors with a single eep. Oh, that's awesome. All right, so I've never done this before. I have no idea if I'm walking into a trap. I probably am, but I have 2 cards to modify, ruin / modify, and we'll see what happens. Ooh. That's awesome, Ian. I hope it will do more than that. If you need another pair of eyes on it, you know where to send it to be tortured. All right, I wasn't going to say fixed, but all right. So let's hopefully we have our microscope plugged in. Oh, we do. Goodness. So, Francois, you should go to bed. Don't worry. If anything exciting happens, you'll know in the morning. So, important things about PDS cards, they were never really designed to have more than one in the computer. So there are these jumpers here, thankfully the manual details, and I found that this configuration works for me in my specific scenario with the SE30 and with the color video card. I have to have both jumpers turned off or the video card will not display at all. The other thing I noticed on this MacCon networking card is 2 pins are bridged intentionally. They're on both of the ones I have right there. So that's going to be something important for me to remember, and so important that I'm going to find a scrap of paper and I'm going to write that down because I will forget. Sounds like a plan, Ian. Sounds like an amazing plan. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and those 2 are bridged. That's where the FPU goes, and that's my crude diagram. Looks like a happy face. Well, I'm glad socket wench. I almost said socket wrench. I've been toying with this idea for like 3 or 4 years, and I'm only getting around to doing it now. So what I think would be the best plan of action, and feel free to yell at me in the chat here, is I'm going to add solder to each of these pins as I go, and then we'll suck them out with the solder sucker, and hopefully we don't damage anything, because I have to remove this entire header here. I don't necessarily have to reuse the header, but I don't want to damage it beyond use, in case it's, going to be in handy. I mean, they're only $5 on DigiKey or Mauser or whatever, but no sense in wasting parts. Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not saying the LCD mounting was easy. That's maybe a poor choice of words. I'm saying it's easier today with a lot of things that so many people have moved forward with in their own projects to enable some of us to not have to reinvent the wheel so much. This is my tagline for nothing. Oh boy. All right. So what I'm going to do here is, first off, we're going to take off that little solder bridge. See if we can manage to do that without screwing anything up, huh? That's really on there. They must have spun that around. Well, we broke it, so it doesn't matter. All that hard work for nothing. So I'm going to get some fresh solder here. And it really does help because some of the solder can be quite old and crusty. So freshening these up goes a long way when you're trying to desolder something. So especially that's on a ground plane. That's going to be fun. I mean, this whole thing is going to be really annoying. And the only reason I'm doing it now is because I'm flying to VCF Midwest. And the amazing Sean of Action Retro has been gracious enough to say that he will bring my luggage, or what he doesn't sell along the way, to VCF Midwest for me. So he's going to bring this Mac so I don't have to worry about shipping it, or, God forbid, the TSA mangling it, or whatever. So that's the plan, but since he's driving there, he's going to leave earlier than I'm flying. And so I have to get everything sort of tidied up for him. It was very kind of him to offer that. I don't want to make him wait to the last minute or anything like that. So I'm going to try and finish this as quickly as I can. And we'll see how we manage on with this. I'm road tripping on the way back. Unfortunately, I do not have enough vacation time planned out where I can do the whole time. Although that does sound fun. I think my wife would probably want to kill me afterwards. She is coming. She's coming along with for the ride. But there's only so much, one wants to be near me nonstop. Gut bomb, I like the way you think. I like the way you what think. Right, so let's bring over our desoldering gun and try not to drop it. And so this is a Pros Kit SS331, one of the cheapest desoldering guns I could find, and it works pretty good. I don't have any fancy Hako stuff or Hako or whatever it is stuff, but this works okay. Oh, thank you so much, man. Yes, the tech support from before. Oh, no worries, Mike. Yeah, that's always fun. But I'm glad you are moving forward. That's an exciting thing for you to tinker with, and let us know what happens. But thank you, appreciate it. Eep, thank you for the super chat. Carl, long time no see. Pros Kit is fine. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You banked all your PTO. Oh, wow, nice. A little hard to deal with for multiple days. Oh god. Alright, so first things first is solder suckers do not like flux. So gotta sort of clean that off, or at least use up the rest of it. I think we still have some here. Let's just move that away. Because I'm being frugal here because I literally do not have another tube. Well, I do. It's upstairs. I have no idea where the heck it is. It came in the mail. I put it aside. I'm like, oh great, I'll use this later. No idea what happened to it. Could be on the moon for all I know. So let's just use the flux that we have here, just freshen up some of these joints. They don't look that crusty in person. I mean, they look kind of crusty, I guess, under the microscope. Hopefully this doesn't give me too much trouble. Like I said, I've never really pulled off a connector of this magnitude before. I've seen Bruce do it, and it wasn't so easy for him. and that was on the 2FX he was doing. But again, I'm doing it from a little card, so hopefully it won't be that bad. Oh, that's right, Guplum. Ugh, that sucks. Yeah, this was when it was only like $150 with shipping. It wasn't too bad. It did come from AliExpress and took forever, but yeah. Oh, that's nice, Ian. Yeah, there's a bunch of hurricanes and stuff like that, so maybe that's for the better. But anyway, all right, let's see how this will go. Now I don't know if I'm going to get everything under the microscope here sharp, but I'll try. Not bad. Look at that. We're making decent progress so far. That makes it look easy. Getting some interesting smells, but just telling me I have to turn my fume extractor on in a moment. That one's going to need some convincing later. Now you don't want to press it right against the PCB because then you could burn things, or at least melt things. So you want to try and just keep a little bit above it, but you want to make sure you're melting as much as possible, so it's like a balancing act. But that didn't do a bad job at all. Oh, nice! That'll be great, Dan. You always make amazing videos. Subscribe to Userlandia, folks, if you have not. Okay, there's a few we missed there. Just fantastic quality work. I mean, really. It's one of those folks that whenever a video comes out, it's like, oh, Dan's video, gotta watch. Did some excellent stuff on the Apple IIgs recently. And then one of those big old IBM, what was it, the Model 80 he did a video on? Always exciting to see that stuff. And always great to meet in person. Just feels like it was just the other week we were at VCF East. I mean, the time between these events, it seems to fly. But that's just, I've been super busy with life and work recently, so. You know, trying to get all the shed stuff to happen has been a royal pain for almost 2 years. So hopefully, even though it rained today, hopefully they could deliver the thing tomorrow. But that's been fun. And if you really want to hear me bitch about the whole shed experience, and if you're a supporter of the channel on Patreon, so as little as $1 a month, if you support me, there's a little podcast that my friend Colin from This Does Not Compute is doing with me. And we're just talking about life and technology and just all sorts of whatever comes to our mind. And the latest episode that we recorded is all about my shed. So, yeah. That, I believe, was uploaded on Thursday. And we try and do one every week or so we release an episode. It's just like kind of funsies. So if you're a supporter, that's a little perk you get. And if you don't support me, but you support Colin, hey, you get access to it as well. So it's win-win. Aperture was right large compared to... Well, I mean... Let me zoom in here. In case it wasn't clear. Got most of them out pretty good. Some of these not so good, but there's some solder stuck in there, but we'll get there. Those I have to come back to. But, one at a time. So what I'll actually do is I'm going to actually reflow these. It does feel counterintuitive to put more solder on, but it does help like everything come at once, hopefully, and loosen it up. Yeah, I know, Mike. Trust me. If I could have had this thing like a year ago, I think we'd all would have been a little more sane. I'd have less scratches and scrapes on my knees from hitting into things in the basement. Allison would be less prone to wanting to murder me right now. And I would have solved world hunger. You know, it's just, these are just facts, folks. All right, let's try this again. I apologize, the microscope is not always perfectly in focus, but all right. All right, I think that did an okay job. That didn't do too bad. We're going to have to come back and go back for a few times over some of those, but we'll take a few passes. That's just what's required with this. It's going to be a long process, folks. Sorry if you get annoyed with this sound. Allison has the patience of a saint. If she didn't, I'd be dead already. Raise my microscope up slightly. If I... No, that won't do it. Whatever, I'll just leave it like this. Yeah, same here, man. I was going to try and do a Mac clones video or something, but not happening. I think the least I could do is try and get this out in time. And we'll see if I succeed on that. You know, these events seem like they're so far away, and then all of a sudden they're on top of you. You're like, oh gosh, I forgot. We're like, hey, life got in the way. I didn't have time to focus on all my computer stuffs. I think I have to go over these again with some fresh solder. The calming sounds of mooing. Murph. Well, that sounds fun. Compact Pro Linea. That's that system you did your whole video about, right? It was like similar to one you had in your youth. I love that sort of stuff. I'd love to do more videos about that. I'm trying to do one about my Molar Mac soon, but I know another creator is doing one about that. So, but I started filming mine years ago and just never got around to it. I also started filming something about my Amiga 2000 that I've repaired. I never got to finish filming that. So the biggest issue is space. I have this desk here. It fills up with projects and crap. And although I'm very fortunate to have a basement and stuff, I'm not saying I'm not. It's just one of those things where it's like, oh, that's the desk I need. It has to be all clean. There can't be any junk on it. And there's always junk on it. Just always the way it is. There's always crap on it. Whenever I need to film something, whenever I'm in the mood to be creative about something, I'm like, oh, yeah, that. I don't want to do that right now. I don't want to clean right now. I'll just go watch TV. Or something else. Oh, hey, Mike. You don't have to do that, you dork. Thank you very much. Yep! For the super chat, Mike, of Mike's Mess. I appreciate it. Anyone who donates $100 to Steve, I will disclose where a secret computer bunker is. We talked about this before the show, and I said no. I'm not going to give you 50% of whatever YouTube's 40 or 60% they give me from that $100. But good try. Thank you, Mike, for the super chat. It's very kind of you. You know you don't have to do that, you dork, but thank you. That's appreciated. That moo was just for you, Mike. Mike actually has a, what is that, an HP i7 laptop for sale? Mike, tell people about the specs. Maybe they'll want to buy it. It's actually a pretty decent machine. He fixed it up pretty good. Yeah, I have some PC motherboards which just have the cap disease all over them, so I don't know if it's even worth it to try and do anything with them. For better or worse, you know, there's a lot of PC logic boards out there. I'm going to try and refocus this because it's not helping. There we go. Mike has an 11th gen i7 2.8 GHz 17-inch touchscreen HP laptop with 16 gigabytes of DDR4 memory, 256 gigabytes of storage. That could be upgraded, of course. So if you were interested in such a machine, let Mike know. Let him fund some other cool projects and things. Well, that's not a bad laptop. Really. It's a pretty neat machine. Okay, that's not too bad. Kind of see what I'm working on now. The trick is to try and get the point in the middle, so you're not as prone to having it get stuck around. Hey, Metal Music, how's it going? This is right. If you buy Mike's laptop, he'll guarantee you anything you'd like. You could say you could guarantee me an Oscar? Could use a little more persuasion. It's a little bit better. Oh, these are the old solder. I can feel it. I need some new ones. Yeah, unfortunately, some of Mike's beloved kitties have passed on. But the ones who remain are belligerent and numerous, I can assure you. And they are floofy beyond all reason. But very sorry to hear about that, Mike. I know they are very special kitties and they meant a lot to you. But don't worry. Their fur will always be in your house. But all kidding aside, yeah, I know exactly how that feels. We lost a bunch of our rabbits and our cat around the same time a few years back, and there's no real words to describe how much of a wave of suck that is. So If it makes you feel better, I'll try and burn myself with a soldering iron. Yes, taking off a PDS card slot on this networking card to put a different angled slot on there so I could do some crazy things. Oh, looks like some solder mask came off there. Like that one might be a problematic one. And that one too. And that one. You don't want to keep on the logic board or the surface of the board too long, otherwise you do risk doing damage to it, but sometimes it is necessary to coax some of that out. It's always hard to judge if you've let things melt to a good enough temperature or not. Kind of more art than science sometimes. I want to know what project somebody was working on when they invented this. Oh boy. Oh no, Devruden, I know that all to be too true. You know how much rabbit hair and rabbit hay and rabbit poop I'm still finding in this basement years after those guys are gone? Like, no joke, like it's everywhere. Will be everywhere forever and always. We are about 70% of the way there. No low melt solder. This is the same solder I've been using since 2019. Less crusty solder, sure, but... It makes you feel better. I forgot to solder these ones, so there. She calls them Mac carriers. That's great. I'm glad. I actually found a few more of them in the garage. They might be missing like some plastic clips. I think the doors are scattered around elsewhere. But if you need more of them, we probably have way more than we'll ever use right now. We only need like a few. But we are planning on getting a little bunny after VCF Midwest. We've been petless since March, since Gus passed, and she was on her way to being 12 years old, which is a long time for a little bunny. And my goodness, that sucked. She was always so food motivated, always so energetic, and all of a sudden she just lost her appetite, lost weight drastically, and no amount of money that we threw at her would do anything. So that was a lot of pain, and that sucked. And we weren't ready for quite a while, but people are terrible, and they still buy rabbits for their kids during Easter because, you know, people are stupid. And a rabbit is considered an exotic animal here in the United States. They breed so quickly. That's where the term breed like rabbits comes from. Because within 30 days, they could give birth with up to 12 babies. They cost around $500 to $800 around here to get neutered. So people don't neuter them. And then more rabbits happen and all this stuff. And right now in Philadelphia, there's about 30 dumped rabbits in a particular area, and people are trying to round them up, and of course they're going to be sick and all this stuff, and it's all these stupid breeders who breed these things for Easter or whatever, and then they just dump them. So, yep, I know it's similar with puppies and cats and everything, but, you know, the way rabbits multiply, it's just sick what these people do. And I'm 1,000% against that, if you can't tell already. All of our rabbits have been rescues, and they are fantastic companions, but they're not for anybody who's looking for an easy pet. They are the opposite of that. And while I'm on my soapbox, Petco has not sold rabbits for ages, and now they're going to do it again. And I don't think that's going to help anybody. So yeah, that sort of sucks. But the little guy that we're getting was dumped outside, and he's a sweet little boy. And we're going to love and spoil the hell out of him. They were mostly jerks, but they were cute. They loved you, Mike, especially when you were feeding them. Oh gosh, Olivia was the sweetest. She'd just lick you to death. Unless she was hungry, then she'd bite you to death. But, you know. That's how rabbits work. Almost there. At least with the first pass. Moo. All right. Woo. Oh boy. Olivia only bit me a few times when she would go around my back and bite the fat on my back or my side. But that was just for attention. They do little love nibbles. They just want your attention. Hey, we're looking pretty good, except for every single one of these pins that is slightly soldered. Oh, gosh. Alright, we're not doing too bad. We got, like, probably, like, every other pin to rework, but... Is this loose at all? No, of course it's not. Excuse me. Lost my, throat there for a second. Yeah, see, the thing is, these pins are very easy to just get caught on things. But if you could, you know, keep them loose for a while after you've heated up that solder. Yeah, so that's what we got to do. It's 120 of these pins here, folks. But this is how you have to do it sometimes. Got 6 down. Who wants to do some math? Some of these may already be loose, but looks like the majority of them are just slightly stuck on there. That'll make getting the new slot in there fun as well. But so who here is going to VCF Midwest or has gone in the past, even if you're not making it this year? Who am I liable to bump into? So I got some stickers. I'll be also selling mouse pads. So bring money. Be paying for the rental car. How many mouse pads I sell. But yeah, I think it's going to be a fun time. It's always a whirlwind of a show. I am very curious to how this new venue is going to go. Because I've only gone a few times before, but, you know, you sort of get used to things. So I'm very curious how this is going to go. But we'll see. That was a pain in the butt. There was still some solder on there, so just wanted to stick. Rudy is not making it. Don't worry, Rudy. You'll be there in spirit. Stupid fat fingers. Hey, Dana. Gregory, I know how that feels. Oh, Ian! Nice! Well, Mike, be careful what you wish for. We might throw you in the back of a cargo van. And you might make it to VCF Midwest, but we might also try and, you know, put your services to good use and make you fix cars along the way or something, you know? This is what good friends do. I'm sure Carl could use some of your help. We'll kidnap you over to Carl's place. And Carl, I swear I'm getting that board out to you. I just gotta, when we get this shed, I gotta like move all this stuff because everything is in such a state of disarray that I couldn't find it if my life depended on it. It's in a box, it's labeled, it's on one of the shelves, but I can't even get up to the shelf at this point. But I do sincerely apologize that it's taken me so long. Heck, I've only done 2 streams this month. Usually I'm way more active than that. That just sort of tells you all the crazy crap that's been going on. But hopefully, that's behind us. We'll see. We'll see what life wants to throw our way next, huh? You could always plan on life being unpredictable. Yeah, buy another house, yeah. You can stay here. Exactly. Your Mac TV. The analog board or the logic board? I'm not... You want me to bring a soldering iron onto the plane? Do you want me to get arrested? That nerd has a weapon. Tackle him. Analog board. Oh, God. Well, okay, so it's honestly, the problem with those analog boards is the recap kits. If you have a recap kit from a place like Console 5 or whatever, make your life a whole lot easier. Because I tried buying myself like 4 or 5 Color Classic recap kits. I was going to buy them in bulk and try and save a few bucks, right? So I spent a few hours on like Mauser and DigiKey. No matter what I did, I could not get the capacitors as cheap as I could at Console 5. They just must buy them in such a bulk that they get such a discount. And also, there were just some capacitors I couldn't find at all. Even if I was going to pay more for it, I could not find ones in stock. So, and honestly, like, an analog board is a heck of a job. I mean, if you give me the board, I am driving back. If you give me the analog board, at my leisure, I will do my best to try and tackle that for you. I won't really be able to test it, but at least I could recap it and give it a visual overlook and then send it on back to you. Hopefully I have room in the car. You could also just ship it if it's all disconnected already. I would hope it is. Oh, that was a stuck one. You're just hanging on for dear life, huh? And the tip of the soldering iron is a little too wide, so it does run the risk of accidentally reheating the ones that we just dislodged. I hope you like SCSI hard disks. Oh god. I'm scared. Allison's gonna murder me either way. Well, no, I should not be pulling those like that. I know it's tempting to just go dink 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 dink, but don't want to risk breaking this. I still need the card to work. Opened the freezer last night. Yeah, Mike's cats are crazy. The good thing they're so darn cute because, my goodness. All right, we're about halfway there, folks. Yes, you do have to be careful because Console 5, although they try their best, some of the capacitors are of different value or different sizes. They do note some of them on their wiki, but if you do have a problem, obviously you should contact them and ask for a replacement or make them aware that it's not fitting. Because, for example, I ordered like the cap kit for a Mac 128K, and their recap guide is just very basic. You know, they just have a list. But unfortunately, it doesn't tell you like the original values. It only tells you the values that they're giving you. And so sometimes they'll give you like a 25 volt instead of a 16. And this is all fine. It's not a problem with that. But it's just, you know, if you get confused over, wait, this one went here, where does this one go? And sometimes the lettering and the silk screen on the board isn't so visible, so it's hard to see. So that actually made me make one of these little guides that's on my website of the original capacitor values with a little map, because if it was helpful to me, it's probably helpful to somebody else. So put that out there. My gosh, this is taking a while, but I guess slow and steady wins the race, huh? Take a sip of water here. Yeah, I mean, I've thrown out so many of those candies. I wish there was a little checkbox to say, I don't want these. Well, the thing is, Carl, you can say, hey, I have a Mac TV. They might not even ask you for the values. Maybe they have them. But they do custom kits for folks. You just email them, and they're happy to sell you capacitors. But might require some investigation on our point or your point, but... The hardest thing about the analog board is just getting the darn thing out of the case without cracking the case, especially on those systems. There's usually not too many, surface mount components. There's usually all through hole. So as long as you have a decent enough soldering iron, you're usually okay to get most of those out. Although I know it can be a pain. Even I struggle with that sometimes. That's why they're not my favorite. I really, really don't like doing power supplies. And I really, really don't like doing analog boards. I could probably count on one hand the amount of analog boards I've done, because it's just not one of my favorite things. And there's so much that could go wrong. And I'm just giving you a heads up. There's just so much that could go wrong. And I'm not an analog engineer. I don't know. I'm not an electrical engineer. I don't know any of these things. It's like I could guess, like, oh yeah, this thing isn't making a connection right. but you know, there are times I had a was it a color classic? No, it was a regular classic, and I just couldn't get it working. It just oh no, it was a 128K. Recap the whole thing afterwards. It acted like it had the same problem. No idea what the problem was. And since I had another working 128K, I really wasn't bothered to try and like spend so much time and energy to get that working. But they are not for the faint of heart. And so kudos to people like Amiga Rochester and Tech Knight, who are really good with that sort of stuff. You know, they do have a lot of experience with the analog side of things to have a better understanding of, like, if something goes wrong, they've seen it before. Especially Tech Knight. I've seen some of his posts on Twitter of him, like, fixing around these old TVs from the 50s and 60s and junk. I had to come back to this one later. It's absolutely phenomenal work. Like, really cool. It's a skill I'll never have, but at least somebody's doing it, you know. Somebody knows what they're doing. We're still about 70% of the way there. My gosh. Ugh. And then logic boards, like Dan's Macintosh TV logic board was here for like 2 years. And turns out the stupid CUDA switch was stuck on reset. The switch was broken. It was broken, folks. And that caused the whole damn system to act dead. Recapped the whole thing probably like twice. Took off the CUDA chip, swapped the ROMs more times than I could count. Fun times. Why do we do this again? What's wrong with us? I would love to know. Not that I want to be cured, but maybe I could like have it managed, like a medication, to just like dumb it down sometimes. Oh boy, this is tedious. We've got about 40 rows, I think, more to go. Whew. Yes. Yeah, don't worry if it doesn't, Dan. There's absolutely no rush in it. Please. I sincerely appreciate what you did. And we'll figure out all the details, but that was there's no rush. Oh. I almost didn't do this tonight because I'm like, oh, I'll stream tomorrow, but I didn't know if I was gonna have time, so I figured might as well do it now, because this isn't going to be the only thing I have to do with this. There's still some little tidying up I want to do, but this was the biggest thing. This is the thing that was going to require the most amount of work, and I figured just get it done now. Let's get the hard part over with. At least this better be the hard part. Oh boy. There's quite a lot of these I have to come back on, huh? These tweezers don't really have the best grip. I'm going to switch to another pair. Rest my eyes for a second. Oh boy. 1 hour down, 7 to go. This has only been an hour? Feels like an eternity. Where's my good tweezers? Oh, those? You lost those years ago. I did just see them. Yeah, it's been storming here, and I'm pissed because it's all damp out, and I hope this doesn't make sure that my shed can't get delivered or anything. I've been waiting for 2 years of that stupid thing. There they are. There's my tweezers. Oh boy. Yeah, those analog boards are all very similar. So, but there are different revisions. That's the one thing you got to keep in mind. Like the Color Classic analog board, yeah, there are different revisions of those. So you could order a cap kit and be like, wait, why doesn't this all fit? So, yes, a Mac TV board might work with a 550 or 575 analog board, but there might be revisions you're not aware about. You're not aware of. Like the LC power supplies, I think I have like 5 documented on my website, but I think there's some more that I don't. So, it's one of those things. Just one of those things. Speaking of which, talking of things that don't work and that frustrate me, I have 2 LC power supplies that should have been a very easy recap. And both of them just short when I plug them in afterwards, so. Fun times. Alright, so that should be most of them. Let's see if there's wiggles at all. Yeah, it's rocking a bit. It's rocking back and forth. Alright. Might be busy Sunday, but I will see. There's always a party on Dave's stream. So that one is certainly gonna need some work. What I'm gonna try doing is just fixing these like I fixed the other ones, just slapping solder on them. These might be on ground planes. If they are, that's gonna be a pain in the butt. Yeah, that first one especially. Well, let's try it. Oh, not even a dent. Let's let that heat up again. How do you get the little solid circle in some of the file names or scripts? Classic Mac OS. Hold down Option and press F, I think. Is it? No, wait, hold on. I know it if I type it. Is it F or is it 8? I think it's one of those. Hold on. 8. Yes. Hold down Option and press the 8. The number 8 key. That does the little circle guy. I knew it was one of those. I was thinking of the curly F for the folder. It doesn't have to be perfect. As long as it's mostly free from solder, that's all I care about. It's good enough to dislodge this connector. We're gonna have to redo that one. I was trying to be cheap and get away with it. Oh yes, the degree symbol. Forgot about that. You know when someone's an old-time Mac user when they sometimes still label folders with that little F. Because in the file system of the very early Mac days, there was no naming differentiation between a folder and a file. So people had to figure out their own ways to do it. And they did use that little funny looking F. I forget what the technical name is for that character, but I remember my dad doing that. I'm like, why are you doing that? He's like, oh, well. I'm like, yeah, but you don't have to worry about that anymore. It's like old habits. Right, so this might be the last one. I'm hoping. I'm hoping. I'm tired of using the Moo gun. I'm sure you're all tired of hearing it. Is this going to come out now? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, we lost a pin. But that's just one pin. Look at that. There we go. So we lost one pin. That was this guy here. Still stuck on there. But well, let's get that out of here gently, and then we could probably reunite it with its friends. There we go. Let's try and put that back into the missing spot, which is here. I think it goes in. I have to switch back to the microscope here. Oh boy. There we go. Not bad. All right. That's my first one of those I removed, and I don't think I did too bad of a job. Yay! All right. Whew. I need a break. I need a stretch. Oh, boy. All right. Move this connector over here. I can turn the soldering gun off for a second, I hope. All right. Get the camera a bit closer. I don't have my above cam plugged in right now. No, it is, but this is a bit easier. I have never had one that worked, Carl, and I've ordered a lot of crap from them. Okay, so thankfully I have another networking card, so I can confirm assumptions here. You know, I'm going to take a picture of this because I'm making a video about this. Might as well take a picture. So I've removed it for this reason. I have two Macintosh PDS cards I want to use. And I'm not spending $250 for a pass-through or $400 for a pass-through card. I have a card that already has a pass-through, but it was designed for Macintosh 2 SI, which goes horizontally. But if used on a Mac SE, that bumps into the floppy drive. With the $7 Mauser port and a heck of a lot of determination, I could solder this 90-degree angle on here and pop this up here, and then I can have two cards within my case. You removed your spleen. Alright, so now let's just inspect the holes here. I think they all look good. This one that we just got that pin out of, I'm just going to clean out a little bit manually here. There's a little spider that was hanging out. Alright, Mr. Spider, you have to be moved. Otherwise you're going to get on my head and I'm going to be like, oh, it's a spider. Oh, or not. What are you doing, you little spider? Here, go play in the trash can. There's a lot of fun stuff in there. Alright, so I just need to clean up maybe one or two little spots here. And then I do have to bridge that connection that was on the original card. I'm not even going to switch to the microscope, so hopefully this will be pretty fast. Nope. That should be close enough. We'll find out in a second. All right, so I want to make sure the orientation of this is correct. It is. And so we're going to attach this slot like that. Or just, wiggle it enough. Make sure all 120 of those pins are firmly seated. I am very excited about this. Okay, they all look all right. Oh my god. Boy, that went smoother than I expected. Now let's just confirm our fit here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's going to be beautiful. Oh. So before, this forced us to go like this. But now, oh yeah, that's going to be wonderful. Like an SE30 PDS glove. Alright, so I'm going to take a good look at this before I solder anything down, because I want to make sure that I'm doing everything correctly, that we don't have any bent pins or anything sinister looking that we're going to have to worry about later. Looks all good. In fact, I should have taken a look at the other side, but honestly, to my eyes, it looked beautiful. So we're going to just risk it. And we have another card in case we fudge up. So I'm just going to tack the edges of this here. There we go. We're on our way. I hope so too, Eric. All right, that is... Oh, man, I am so pleased with how this came out right now. Just because, you have these harebrained ideas, and it's like, oh, well, is it going to work? Is it going to work? And I know I didn't even solder everything up to it yet, but I'm excited. Ah! Oh, man. Oh, this is going to be fun. This is why I do this stuff. And it's been far too long since I've been able to have this amount of fun with such silly ideas and things. Just put a healthy amount of flux on there. Yes. I know. That's the problem. It's not going to work until I put it all in the case. So, we're just going to go line by line here. We need to... I wish I had some good soldering music here. My pal Gutbomb in the chat's been making some cool music. I have to license some music from him to get some action soldering music. I honestly thought that this would be rougher, but I know people have had a lot of trouble on big boards, and this was just like an accessory board, so I think that really helped me out. Otherwise, I would have been in for a world of hurt. And I was also very lucky that nothing got stuck on a ground plane or anything like that, because that would have been annoying. I've had previous streams where I spent like 20 minutes trying to do one little solder pad or desolder something or whatever. Those are always such a pain in the butt. Just how it is sometimes. I'll make you a soldering song. I could make my own soldering song, but it would require singing, and I don't think a lot of people like that. Some people do. I was soldering in the park one day, in the very merry month of May. I ran out of flux, I did give a fox, and I soldered on my merry way. That's the only song I can think about in such short notice. Mac84 sings nursery rhymes. Get this double CD quadruple cassette album while supplies last. Representatives are not standing by. Mac84 sings. I did that just so you would say that, said Mac. Hey, Joe! Joe! I took the whole connector off without really breaking anything. And now I'm putting a new one on. And I'm flexing excited about it. Damn, it's a lot quicker soldering on than it is desoldering. What, 10 minutes of soldering versus like an hour of desoldering? But I took my time with plenty of flux and let it solder. And my Moo gun, which again is a Pros Kit SS331. Not anything fancy, but it does the job indeed. And I think that's it. I think that's it. Yes, I probably could, but let's just make sure that is good. Some of those were sitting a bit too proud. Alright, now I go to my cheat sheet because there are two of these pins right here at the bottom that are supposed to be connected. I want to make sure right between those two. Now I can confirm that because I have this other one here that I'm not even sure if it works, but alright, so I know that. And I'm going to take this old capacitor lead that I have and just use that. Look at all the 3D print crap that's stuck on my my cutters there. Good enough for me. Bruce! You missed desoldering the entire connector. I desoldered the entire... My first time desoldering a connector like that. We desoldered the entire connector. And I just put on the 90-degree angle connector. How cool is that, huh? And so now... I can take my video card, pop it right on there. How crazy is that? That is awesome. That is a thing of beauty. Oh man, I'm excited about this. Oh, this is so cool. Yeah, come on, smash that like button, people. Please. Please and thank you. And I didn't even mangle up the old connector. Like, what? Now let's test if it actually works. It's one thing to be excited about it. It's another thing to, like, see if you actually, made all the connections good. Alright, let's get some of my soldering tools out of the way here. Put this on the bench. I'm going to put our networking card in with our new PDS connector on the top. And that hits right into this little thing here. That's fine. Excuse me. And I'm going to plug in my Ethernet little daughter card here. Hey, Ron from Ron's Computer Videos. Thank you very much for the super chat. Yep. Look whose shirt I'm wearing. Ron's. Ron, put a link-a-doodle to your store where people could pick up your Stay Puft take out your batteries shirt. Catch fire of all this stuff. Yes, Gupam, I am so bad with, like, in my head, like, okay, I'm turning this 90 degrees and then this is, like, I get myself all confused. I, like, triple check the part. Mauser had a little 3D turnaround thing, and I, like, checked that a billion times. Oh, freaking yeah, look at that. This is amazing. It's so stupid, I love it. Oh, boy. All right. We got an obscenely proud card just sticking up there. Oh boy, oh, I love it. Look at that. That's ridiculous. All right, let's get our power supply. Hope we didn't screw anything up here. If we did, we're about to find out. Yes, Bruce with his documentation and recapofmac.com and all those address pin lines and everything. What a great guy. Looking out for all us crazy Mac heads. Alright, so as soon as I plug this in and flip the power switch, we should see some life. I'm going to get my keyboard. And like I said, the video scaler gets kind of wonky with this video card, so I'm just going to have this LCD off on the side. But if all goes well, we should get a picture. It should boot up. Oh, Tev Rudin, thank you very much for the super chat. Eep! And thank you very much, Ron, for the super chat. Eep! And thank you very much, Mike, for the super chat. Eep! Greatly, greatly appreciate it. All eeps, all the time. All right. Excuse me. Getting too excited here. Losing my voice. All right. So we got the networking card and the video card. Technically, nothing has changed other than just removing that connector and connecting it up again. So this should work fine. Let's just confirm that I bridged the right pins there. On this networking card, I have. Let's turn this sucker on. 3, 2, 1. I see the blue scuzzy blinky light go. No video from the video card. Uh-oh, why? What did I do wrong? Let's turn this off for a second. Make sure everything is seated properly. Oh, that's not. Let's try it again. Please work. Unless I have the wrong video cable plugged in. That could also be true. Yes, I have the wrong video cable plugged in. That would do it. That would do it. That would do it. That would do it. There's no speaker connected. Yay! We got light on the screen and we got Lapis. There she is. You can kind of see it. Yay! It works. Alright, so I'm just going to let it boot up. and make sure we could see the networking card. Yes! Derp. Oh boy. Got our color screen. Let's see if I can move the camera this way and then like fat fist it there. There we go. Yep, that's the Lapis Pro Color Server 816.2 video card. And if I go to the Apple menu, SE30, 69 megabytes of memory, 7.1. Let's go to our chooser. Oh, it might not have retained our Apple Talk thing because I did not put in Ron's battery doodad in there yet, but I shall. I'm putting in all of my tricks into this machine because I want to make it something special. Even though this PDS card is now tilting in a precarious way, it's okay. And there it is. It sees my Mac Mini on the network, so now we know the networking is working. That is amazing. All right, let's shut this down and try and put it in a case. Yeah, I could probably 3D print a few things, but I think it'll be okay just in there. It's not like anything else is going to hurt or anything like that. It definitely should fit. We'll find out. Now, the other thing I'm going to do, which I'm not going to do on this stream because I have to look it up, and it's going to take quite a while. This Lapis card has a 10-pin one-position header. And if I could find it, I bought these on Mouser. This is this part number, and it's this little cable with a header, and it's got the little ribbon on it, and it's like 2 inches or so, not much, and hopefully, yeah, that lines up perfectly. I could just pop that in, put a few cables on here for a VGA connector, and then I'm going from here to the display, which will be here, instead of having like an 8-foot VGA cable in here, plus using up one of my Mac VGA adapters. So I have to figure out the wiring of this and exactly how I want to do this. That's something for me to figure out later on. I might not even make that a thing for the show, but that's one way to do it. I know they also make those little crimping kits. I want to order one of those, so maybe I'll wait, but I was happy to confirm that that's the right size. Expanding font. All right, so let's take those cards out for a moment. We'll take that Ethernet adapter out for a moment. This is a bit crazy. Encase all the things in epoxy. I'm running out of space to temporarily put things, such as life. Take a break here. I deserve it. My goodness. There's an LCD in the case because there's no way I could fit a CRT in, and I don't have an analog board. I guess I could steal one from another system, but pretty happy with how this came out. Pretty damn cool if you ask me. Now this does not look the prettiest. There's already some scratches and dust marks on it, but it looked a lot better than it did before. So I need to get some stuff sorted here. There we go. Excuse me. to get this all buttoned up. But it's going to take me a bit, so it's not a race. But I'd like to have a crude version of this assembled to see how it all fits together. So I did have a little thingamajig. Here they are, of screws. Here they are. And I still have to 3D print a few things. Like I have to 3D print a little thing for this monitor dealy to hold on to. And I think I'm going to mount the SD card slot somewhere where the volume connector is. But I don't have that part yet, so that's TBD. But let's try and get some of this here. Now it's not perfect, but I'm gonna try aligning everything as it should go, and without risk of scratching things up too badly. There we go. Let's put an old shirt down. There we go. Yeah, I don't unfortunately have so much time to do this perfectly, but I just want to get it into a state for VCF Midwest, and I will continue with it. I did buy some aluminum spray paint, but I do kind of like the color that it's in right now. But I have a few things I need to test fit. So that's what we're going to do now. You're coming along with me. All right. Excuse me. My goodness. Now I have these screws that these were given to me by a dear friend, and they're recreations of the silver screws to the Mac. They are the same ones inside. Again, I didn't have the screws, but I have some washers here because not everything I don't think is gonna, like, these screws are a little too long, I think, but with the washers they make it okay. Oh please, if we could have like VCF Midwest in the middle of October, maybe I'd regrow some of my hair back by then. Like, I'm so stressed right now with everything. Shed's coming tomorrow. It just rained, so who knows if that'll be delivered. Don't even get me started about work stuff. But yeah, my prison Mac. Okay, so that went in there. Where the heck did that screwdriver go? Oh, I put it away. I have it's a Torx 10 screwdriver, but it fits Torx 15 because that's how Harbor Freight works. Sorry, let me zoom out a little bit. Computer shed, yes. 2 years in the making. We'll see if it actually gets delivered tomorrow. Hold on. I bought one of these little motorized screwdriver sets. They are so puny for like this type of work. It just like not probably fine for other stuff, but not for this type of work. But I'm gonna steal the Torx bit out of here. Or at least try to. There we go. So one of these guys. Yeah, all my crap. So I can't. There's not a lot of room in this basement to walk around, which my kind significant other reminds me very frequently. So hopefully that'll help. It's just the shed is only for image writers. That's all. That's no laser writers. Just image writers. All right. I want to thank Big Bad Biologist and his Big Bad Bench, because he did a video about putting together his SE30. Oh, that screw went in wrong. And he that screw. I'm just screwing this up, aren't I? Because the screws are not tapped. You have to like tap them yourself. Right, now that's right. And I was very worried about doing that myself, but in his video he showed how he did it. And so that was very helpful. Well, unfortunately, the tour's going to have to wait. I want to put in insulation and eventually some electrical and stuff, so... I mean, it is large enough where I could, like, have some crap in there while I'm working on stuff, but it's going to be a while before I can really do much. But it's going to be primarily a storage set. I'm fine filming downstairs. It's comfortable. I don't have to run outside in the rain or anything like that. I am spoiled for that. So I am keeping that arrangement, but I don't need all of this stuff in the basement here constantly, you know. That's what happened with the garage. The garage was, oh, I'll just store this stuff in the garage. And then it's like, oh, I want to play with it. And I brought it down to the basement. I'm afraid of putting that screw in too deep and cracking this post. I think that's good enough. There's not a lot of weight to this. It's just, you know, this whole thing. Excuse me. No, I do not want to do that like the Apex. I have plenty of room down here. I got air conditioning. I got power. I got Ethernet. Yeah, the shed... in order to climate control that shed, it's going to have to be insulated and all this stuff, and that's not something I'm doing right away. So it's one of these things where, hey, if I had extra, like, YouTube monies that he must have, yeah, sure. I'd pay someone to do the drywall and do that. That'd be great, but yeah. Underground nuclear bunker. Delicious electrical tape. So I'm just shoving this on the back of this LCD. And now, hopefully, this could stand right up. Yeah, there we go. It's getting there. Who could ask for anything more? Right. So we have our little digitizer, which has a very long cable that just plugs into the power supply. Speaking of power supply, we need to get that out again. And this is just zip tied right now because I need to figure out a more elegant solution. Maybe I could 3D print a bracket or something. On the second iteration, I would print that LCD mount in black. Yeah, I like it clear, but I mean, I could sort of see where you're going with that. I originally was gonna have the this metal part. I was gonna have very shiny. I wanted it to be like sandblasted or something. But while I was getting the rust out, thanks again, as I mentioned previously, to Ron and Joe for their suggestions and help with that. It turned out black, and I was like, you know what? Looks good enough to me, and I kind of like it. All right, so let's. Sorry, you're not seeing exactly what I'm doing here, but I'm shoving a power supply in a zip tie, so it stays put. I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do with the power and everything, but one step at a time. Let me turn this a little bit. Joe. That would be a cool idea. Yeah, I need a thing to mount this on the back. I could 3D print something, but let's figure out the big fish to fry here first. Now, the second thing that I'm very curious about is my floppy drive. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, I ain't using no floppy drive. I'm using a super disk drive because I'm stupid. And it's a SCSI super disk drive. If you didn't see this at the beginning of the stream, there's a whole controller here just to convert IDE that the drive uses to the SCSI bus, which is fantastic. And I built this special carrier for it because it's so big and long it won't fit. It won't fit in the regular one. So I can't read that username because it's just a dash. But thank you, Dash. Appreciate the content. I'm looking forward to continuing Mac Classic adventures. Eep, thank you very much for the super chat. Unknown individual who I sincerely appreciate. Thank you. All you need is more glue. This is where everyone is hiding. Hi, Sloopy. Yeah, well, we'll see what we can do. So this is the bracket. It should fit right here. And that should align decently with that. Yeah. I'm going to use my little blade here to cut away some of the little crud here. Because I made sort of a slot where I could put a Dremel through to put a screw. But I had to figure that out. No hitting with the hammer. No. And so I think I would have to mount the drive in here and then put some sort of screws there or something. There's also just spots for like zip ties. I could just zip tie it in if I needed to, but I'm going to try and do this nicely. So let's just see how this lines up, even without screwing anything in. I don't even know if the height is right for this. I really don't know. It's the first time I'm doing this right now. Okay, so let's see. With the drive flat, let's see, where's my disc? There's my disc. Let's see how, oh, I see. It's, yeah, look at that. It works. So I don't have to prop this up really. I just have to make sure that this this case is aligned. Oh yeah, there's the little lip of the metal here. So this drive will have to stay a little bit away from that. Unless I just melt the plastic a little bit and just allow it to rest on that lip. Let's see. But the bezel makes it look cool. That's how you know it's a super disk drive. What's the point of having a Honda if you can't show it off? Oh, you know what? If it's too pressed against it, that the eject button is just going to be pushed in all the time. Yeah, so we'll make sure it's a little bit away from that. And there's some dust and stuff in there. Excuse me. Alright, so I think what we could do is let's test this one more time while I'm putting pressure on this. So if it's up against there, that should be okay, I hope. Now the problem is, I have the screw holes here. This is like a 5-hour print, but I have the screw holes for the floppy drive, and for this drive, it's just a little bit below that. So I am going to have to just Dremel it a little bit there, but what can you do? No one's going to see that anyway, and I could always print this again if I needed to. Now, where the heck did I put, there they are, the screws for the floppy drive. Excuse me, I have been talking way too much today, apparently. Where's my other screws? I had a whole little thing of computer screws. Probably in random bins throughout the basement. I mean, some of these will work. Here's my RGB to HDMI that I'll probably lose before I need it. Let's confirm that these screws fit in the drive before we, like, break the plastic, huh? Nope. It's a little bit too big. See, these screws will fit, but I don't know if they're long enough to actually make the connection. Maybe they are? Well, let's find out. Oh, and that's right. I have to somehow affix this. Yeah, see, I made screw holes for this. Oh, this is going to be a pain in the butt, isn't it? Yes, sirree. How am I going to do this? Because that doesn't line up there. Well... See, there are screw holes in the plastic, and then there are screw holes on the bottom of this case. But there's nothing for it to, like, eat into. So... I'm going to have to figure out how to mount, because this drive needs to have some... Well, I guess the screw in the back might be enough just to hold it in place. I don't want it to shift around too much, but that might be the only choice I have. I have to measure this. Okay. Oh, and I can't look at where the screw is going because this drive is so long. This stupid board is so long. How am I going to do this? I guess I'll have to zip tie it or something dumb. I mean, as long as it stays in place. Let's just get the drive in place, then we'll figure out how it looks. So I have to... Where the heck did I put that thing? Oh, it's over here. I'll be right back. I got a super chat. Joe says, I am paying money to make you hit the like button. Oh, well, thank you. Everyone hit the like button for Joe or he'll get angry and use his magic powers. Eep, love you, Joe. Go to jcm-1.com, put your link in the thingamajig. Alrighty, I have returned. Hit it with a hammer.net. Joe, do you want me to play that on the stream? It's Dremel time and everyone's going to cry, and I don't care. It's plastic that is just 3D printed. It'll be just fine. It'll be fine, dear. It's just plastic. He's not going to hurt anything, hopefully. Wait, which screw am I plugging this into? Which screw is actually going to fit in here? Hold on. Oh, it'll work with anyone. All right, perfect. You can like super chats? That's cool. Take our one-of-a-kind drive out. Oh, pushed the wrong button. Oopsie doodles. Hope I didn't break it. Garth Beagle was kind enough to send this my way after he heard me complaining about my my non-cordless Dremel when I was trying to reach something in a weird spot. Of course, the plastic melts on the bit, but that's, you know, because of my own stupidity. Yeah, it's fine. And here Steve finds that PLA doesn't like high-speed drilling. Oh, it's fine. Get some of that gunk off of the bit here. Would I say this is the perfect way to do this? Absolutely not. This is the way I'm doing it right now, so I don't have to spend another 3 hours printing just to see if it fits? Yes. And thank you, Gutbomb, for his tech support with my printer, which has been a very bad boy sometimes, but then it figures itself out. And half of it is probably me forgetting to save settings. Oh, David, thank you very much for the super chat. I will fight in your general direction. If you don't like, hit the like button. Eep. Thank you very much. Don't drill my ear. What is Dude, your ear. Should I pierce my ears for VCF Midwest? Yeah, hit the like button. We got, holy crap, 80 people watching. Hi. And I can't scroll because my monitor is, I have to scroll because my monitor is too small. How many likes we got? Now would be a good time to insert ads. How about no, YouTube? How about no? And it doesn't tell me how many people have liked it, but you can see it, I guess. Dental work. I don't trust that here dentist with all those doctorates and, you know, hygiene and sanitation and, what's the word? Sterilization and all that stuff. I don't trust them. I just done gotta do it myself. Oops. He's dental work. Come on over, Sloopy. Buy one, get one offer. No reasonable offer will be refused. Oh, you want to keep your teeth? Oh, well, that's not what we do around here. Alright. Get some of that crap out of there. There's my clippers. Just check my text messages in case I missed anything important. Alright, and Let's just see if this will fit, and then we'll do it the other way. Yeah, those are almost there. To file them out a bit more, but that's fine. Well, so I measured the holes on the bracket and I printed them, but they were for the floppy drive, and the super disk drive is just slightly off, and I don't want to spend another 3.5 hours just to figure out if this will mount correctly, because I might have to re-engineer this mount anyway. So that's the excuse I'm telling myself. Whether you want to believe it or not, that's up to you. Just plastic. Well, the reason the holes were square is because I didn't know if I wanted to give myself extra room up and down. So that's why I made the holes square. I have reasons for these things. I'm not saying they're good reasons. I'm just saying they're reasons. He's leaving Earth. Now we're leaving Earth for no reason. That's close enough. I do have to make this a bit more flexible. That'll do it. When it makes a weird noise, that means it's working. Just make the circle bigger. Yay. Welcome back to Mac84 does whatever the heck he needs to get the damn thing to work right because he's lazy. Now I could use the Phillips screwdriver bit of this little screwdriver. I have a drill, but that would just, make too much sense. Yeah, this sucks. Why did I ever get you? Oh, that's right, you were on sale. And I was like, oh, a battery-powered screwdriver. That'll be the ticket. Just use it as a manual screwdriver. It works better that way. Are these screws too short? I bet you they are too short. Well, let's see what we could do here. Now comes, I don't know if you were bored with the Moo gun. I don't know if this is any better. I mean, at least it's different. Yeah, I think I have to remove this washer. Yeah, now the holes are too big. I can't get the dang washer out. Where the heck did all my screws go? I had a whole bag of screws. Oh, wait. I think I know where they are. They're in one of these bins. Just use duct tape. Holy crap, it's midnight. I might end up using duct tape. You know what? Oh, that's where that went. Holy crap. Is that the mating adapter for this? No, it's the same exact one. Damn it. Yeah, I found switches. Hold on. I had a whole thing of PC case screws, and then the whole thing cracked. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you see my ass? I apologize. Used to make an effort to edit those out, but, I'm lazy. I'm sorry. damn it. They have all these little bins. And they have all these little parts in them. Oh yeah, some of these are from like the Noctua fans. I wonder if these will fit in there. I only need like 2 screws to hold this thing in. Doesn't have to be crazy. Yeah, that might work. Hey, how about that? We got a screw in. Yay! People like butts. Here at Mac 84, we understand why you come to watch this content. Hardcore nudity! And demonetized. Where's my drum? Boop boop. Yeah, sorry I'm quiet. I'm just trying to measure this because it looks like the drive is kind of sideways, so I just want to make sure I get this right. All right. Beep boop. All righty. Gupum, why don't you put one of your dad jokes in the chat to liven everybody up while I do whatever the hell I'm doing. Losing viewers here like that. It's also past midnight. I should go to bed soon. That's the noise you like to hear. And the scalpel goes on the floor. And now the screwdriver fell on the floor. See how quickly that happens? I'm in bed. Alright, I will speed this up. Because I know this is probably boring to a lot of you. I just want to see if this damn case fits. I just need one more screw in here. And we'll move on from this, I promise. And we'll get back to just assembling this thing. I just want to button it up like really quick. And boot it up with the screen. And we'll do that within the next 10 minutes. I will do my best to do that. Oh, perfect. That made whole big fast. Alrighty. Let's put these screws in now. Just need one on each side for now. I need one of these electric screwdrivers that aren't crap. You know, one that actually has like some torque to it. I thought I had 2 of these screws. I'll have to use this one for now. Joe. That's a good one. No, that screw is too big. I thought there were two of them in that thing. Ah, damn it. I thought I had two right here I could use. I have these M3, M4, and M2. I don't know if any of these will fit. They might be too small or too large with my luck. That one might fit actually, but it is a long screw, but this should be okay. It's easy to solve. Oh, Bruce, I love it. Okay, alright, that's good enough. Now, why won't... What's the problem here now? Why isn't it lined up now? What has changed? Does it have to be like a millimeter lower? Yes, it does. This is why I'm not 3D printing a new case right now. Because I have to make sure some things, you know, actually work before you do that. You certainly have to print a new case, that's for sure. Because this one will not like being dremelled for the 80th time. Why won't this turn on? If that didn't wake you up. Alright, good enough for now. Now I know I have to plug it into the screw below the drive, not into the drive itself. But this also means I could use the screws that I have the kit of, so plenty to use. All right. There we go. That's just perfect. All right, so now we need to put in our logic board. Let's move these screws out of the way. Our super disc. This crap. Let's lift this up. This shirt down. Yeah, this floppy drive is going to flop around a bit, but let's just remove that for a moment. Let's get our logic board here. And we're going to slide that in. We're going to plug our speaker in. Put our speaker in before we put the board in. That would make more sense. That's why I made that cable extra long. All right. Sweet! I'm excited. This is so awesome. All right, and we'll have our power cable going there. We need our video cable going to the power supply, which I have special pins marked up there for. And that's that. Now we need our special network / PDS card combo, which is hopefully gonna just fit. That fits. Got plenty of room there. Use my VGA cable. Sorry, I haven't been looking at the chat. We're almost here, folks. Elemento! Elemento! Thank you for the case screws. They're in here, and I am so excited because now we're getting all the pieces together, and this will look much better in a few days, I'm sure. But we have a SCSI Super Disk Drive with an IDE to SCSI board on the bottom that we're installing in this puppy. And I have to wire up the power for it because I need a Molex thing and I need to do that. So I didn't do that yet. But that fits pretty well. Alright, so we're going to power this thing up in a moment. Whoops, do not press on the screen, you idiot. And we should be good to go. All right. I'm sure it was, and I'm so thankful because I did not have any spare screws that I could find. But let's turn this around just to show you guys what's going on here. So to recap, I took one of these network cards that I have, and I desoldered this connector and soldered in a new 90-degree connector. So this way I could have networking and this lapis color video card that drives this 8.4-inch LCD screen, which is just precariously hanging on here just because we're testing things at the moment. And we're about to power it on. If I could find what I did with my blue SCSI, which is right here. If I could plug it into the right port. And plug in our networking here. So dangle off the side just for a little bit because we're not finalized with anything just yet. Oh man. Didn't put a battery in, but I will. I'll put in one of Ron's little kits. And this is going to be the first time I'm hearing this chime. And I am stupid excited. Get my mouse plugged in, my keyboard plugged in. Are you ready, folks? I'm ready. I am very much ready for this. Alright, let's just confirm we got all our things plugged in. That's plugged in correctly. The speaker's plugged in. Power's plugged in. Video's plugged in. That's plugged in. Alright, 3, 2, 1. Oh, it would help if I have it plugged into the power supply. Oh, God. All right. 3, 2, 1. Yes! We got a chime. Look at that screen. Oh, that is amazing. Oh, that's perfect. Oh, yes. Oh, man. This is fantastic. Yes. It freaking chimed. Look at that. I am so proud right now. This is like 2 years in the making. Joe. Oh, thank you, Bruce. That means a lot. Oh, man. Yes, yes, yes. Look at that. We have to make something more colorful here. To show off our color. There we go. Oh, this is absolutely beautiful. Oh, yes. And that stupid super disk drive, that's an LS120 120 megabyte drive. That is SCSI. Who knows if System 7 will have any idea what the hell to do with it, but we'll try. System 8.1 liked it. So, oh man. This is what I've been dreaming about for years. I would, Bruce, the super drive does work on my 8600. And it did actually read a super disk. This is a Macintosh formatted one. But the only thing I have to do is wire up the Molex connector to this power supply because it does not have any other things. So, let's just say there will be anti-theft countermeasures installed into this system. Good night, Eric. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out. So, yeah, it's not super yet, but we will make it super. And what else? I don't even know what's on here. We have SCSI Director Pro, of course. Oh, that is just beautiful. No, more like a block of cement with a chain, Joe. It's cheaper. That's great. All right, and then what else did I have? Oh yes, I was going to install Internet Explorer, but I don't know if I have. I don't know if I have the right software for any internet connectivity at all. I don't know if I have Mac TCP or not. I do not, so I'll have to install that, but I'll wait for another day. It is 640 by 480, and we'll go to monitors here. So it's a native 640 by 480 display. We can even go up to thousands of colors, folks. We go to options that says Lapis Pro Color Server 816 PDS. Oh man. And now let's go to our network card just to confirm that it is working. That'll be the last thing we do because it's late and I know everyone's been hanging around for a while. And yes, that's fine. And if we see our Mac Mini, our G4 Mac Mini on the network, then we know we're in good shape. And this is a dream come true. Oops, wrong thing. I still can't get over this. If I click on Apple Share, there we are. There we are. I think we have to make a sound though. Hold on. Let's test that speaker. I also probably want to put a fan in here maybe. Perfect. Oh man. Oh, thank you very much, Kranos. Greatly appreciate the super chat. Eep. Thank you so much. I don't know. I have not seen a lot of them. I don't know if they're able to be reverse engineered or not. I do have one that's not VGA. It's I think it's meant for one of those fancy. Here, this is the guy here. It has a different connector on it, and this is a PDS. The same company, also by Lapis, but it has a 9-pin connector on it, and so unsure of what the differences are as far as the capabilities are, but yeah, either way, it's neat. So yeah, that's basically what I wanted to show today, is getting this thing up and running. So we got the LCD mounted, it's screwed in. Once the back is screwed in, that should be okay. I do want to do some careful measuring of the chassis to make sure it's not going to scratch up the plastic or anything like that. And then, yeah, I mean, here, let's give you a peek at the top here. Oh, I do have the above camera. Yeah, it'll be easier if I just click that. Where's my mouse? Ugh. And the above camera does not seem to be operational. Let's just double click. Let's just try to get it to... No, it's not going to see it. Alright, so I'll just disconnect this camera. Yes, it is 640 by 480. Just point this down. Yeah, so you can sort of see what's in there. I could maybe tilt it a little bit forward. And you can see all the goodness inside. So it is packed in there. And I'm going to have to do some careful arranging. I want to put a little fan in there maybe. And some wire management is in order. But at least we have the PDS situation sorted out. That was the biggest thing. I need to sort that out before I did anything else. Sorry, this camera is loose now. Sorry, Joe. Made you sick. Oh, man. I am so incredibly happy right now. It's worth it. There's a few scratches on it. It's been through a lot, but this thing is what I set out to build like 2 years ago. So there's going to be a lot of little touches up here and there, but basically this will be at VCF Midwest for people to take a look at, and hopefully we get that super disk drive all settled. And oh man, I'm excited. I'm excited. Yeah, and again, big thanks to all my friends who helped with this. Kate of Macintosh Librarian, she helped with the LCD mount. I had to modify it a bit. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. Bruce was helping me like 2 years ago when I was talking about analog boards and stuff. Ron was helping me with the... I was originally going to go a different route for the video, and then this came along, and Joe and Gutbaum and all these fancy folks who are always in the chat supporting me. Elemento provided the screws for this thing. There's just, you know, it's fantastic. And I have to install After Dark on this, but let's shut it down for now. Oh, that's so satisfying. I'm going to turn that off. And anybody else I forgot to mention, it's not intentional. I am tired and excited, and it works. It works. Oh man, yes. I'm very excited. I'm very pleased. No, I'm not going to trade it for a Performance 600. I'm sorry. Put Minecraft on it or Linux. Oh boy. Well, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. It's getting a bit late. I have to get up early tomorrow, assuming they're going to deliver the shed, and I might have to be present to sort of help them. Whoopsie doodle. In case there's some tight corners to cut. But yeah, yes, the back cover does fit on. There's plenty of room for that. The only thing I need is a better way to mount the power supply with the connector, because it won't fit, so I just get an extension cord or something. But for now, it's fine. I still got to tidy up all the wires. I got to put a Blue Scuzzy version to like the desktop version in there. I got to install one of those. And I want to mount that on the back of the super disk drive. So got a few little things to go, but the PDS slot was the thing that was going to take up the most time. That's what I was most worried about. And I wanted to stream that experience because I never did it before. But hey, the old connector still has all its pins. So that's a plus. Oh boy. Anywho, I'm going to make a proper video about this with all the parts and all the stuff and all the process all along the way as a follow-up to the first one I did in 2022, which is linked in the video description in case you missed that. But that's about it for now. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for tuning in. Thank you for sticking with me with some of these projects. I know a lot of the time I get excited about something, I share something, and it's years until I complete it. And that's unfortunately just the way some things are sometimes. Some projects are harder to finish than others, or it's acquiring parts, or you just don't have the time or dedication to it. But honestly, if I tried to do this 2 years ago, I probably wouldn't have been able to desolder that PDS card correctly. So it just, things happen in a good way sometimes. But, yeah, no custom crap here. This is all original hardware for the most part. But anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for so much of the super chats. I can't speak anymore because it's late. Thank you everyone who liked the video, subscribed to the channel, all that fun stuff. And yeah, hope to see some of you at VCF Midwest. Probably won't stream again unless I find some time until then. But see you around. And yeah, that's about it. Where's the end stream button? It's over here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Be good. Take care. Bye.